Good evening and welcome to Express News. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. Let's begin with the stories. Russian President Vladimir Putin will pay a state visit to India at the invitation of Prime Minister Narendra Modi starting December 4th. The Russian President will attend 23rd India-Russia Annual Summit. He will also hold talks with Prime Minister Modi. President Draupadi Murmu inaugurated Brahma Kumari's annual event for 2025-26, themed Meditation for World Unity and Trust in Lucknow on Friday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Sri Krishna Math in Udupi district of Karnataka to offer prayers. PM Modi also participated in the Lakshya Kantha Gita Pranaya program. He was felicitated by the head priest of the Math, Sugunendra Swami. Prime Minister recited verses from 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. On the occasion, Prime Minister said, "It is a moment of great satisfaction to visit this holy land." PM inaugurated Suvarna Tirtha Mandapa located in front of Krishna Sanctum and dedicated the Kanaka Kavach for the sacred Kanakanakindi. Addressing the devotees at Sri Krishna Math, Prime Minister sought citizens' commitment to 9 resolutions dedicated to the national cause. Prime Minister called upon the citizens to encourage natural farming, lead a healthy lifestyle using millets, reduce oil usage and adopt yoga as part of daily life. PM Modi will participate in the 550th year celebration of Sri Samsthan Gokaran Pathagali Jivottam Math in Goa on Friday. During his visit to Goa, Prime Minister Modi unveiled a 77-feet statue of Sri Ram made of bronze at the Math and inaugurated Ramayan theme park garden. On the occasion, Prime Minister addressed the gathering and released a special postal stamp and commemorative coin. Addressing the Chanakya Defence Dialogue 2025, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh said, "Today, India is shaping global discussions and countries across the Indo-Pacific and the Global South look to India as a reliable partner." Defence Minister underscored that India's expanding economy and cutting-edge technological progress have enabled the country to emerge as a voice of balance, stability and responsibility. The minister further noted that India has always believed in peace and dialogue, but when it comes to the sovereignty of the nation and security of the countrymen, it does not compromise. Addressing the 98th Annual General Meeting of FICCI in New Delhi today, Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal said free trade agreements with several countries have helped in increasing the scope of business and investment in the country. India ranks 3rd in the Asia Power Index 2025, behind the US and China. The annual index by Australia's Lowy Institute measures how effectively countries, especially in Asia, can shape and influence their external environment. The National Investigation Agency took one of the arrested accused, Dr. Shaheen Saeed of Uttar Pradesh's Lucknow, to Haryana's Faridabad for on-site questioning with regard to the Delhi car blast. India's Ministry of Defence signed letters of offer and acceptance with the United States government for a 5-year sustainment support package for the Indian Navy's MH-60R multi-role helicopters. Valued at approximately 7,995 crore rupees, the agreement was concluded under US Foreign Military Sales Program in the presence of Defence Secretary Rajesh Kumar Singh in New Delhi. The Indian economy's growth rate made a record in the second quarter of the ongoing financial year. The economy grew at the rate of 8.2% during the July-September quarter. According to data released by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, real GDP is estimated to grow by 8.2% in Quarter 2 of financial year 25-26, while nominal GDP witnessed a growth rate of 8.7% in Quarter 2 of financial year 25-26. Financial, real estate and professional services 10.2% sustained substantial growth rate at constant prices in quarter 2. Lauding India's GDP growth, Prime Minister Modi said this achievement reflects the impact of country's pro-growth policies and reforms. Indian markets closed flat on Friday. Sensex slipped 14 points to settle at 85,707. While Nifty slipped 13 points to 26,203. Indian rupee fell 7 paise to settle at 89.43 against the US dollar on Friday. Gold futures maturing on the 5th of December were priced at 1,26,050 rupees per 10 gram on multi-commodity exchange. Silver futures for December 5th maturity stood at 1,63,981 rupees per kilogram on the MCX. Brent crude oil futures inched up on Friday, with US West Texas were frozen after system outage at exchange operator CME Group. US President Trump said on Thursday his administration will work to permanently pause migration from what he termed third world countries to allow the US system to fully recover. Trump also said on social media platform Truth Social that he will end all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens. Trump added that he will denaturalize migrants who undermine domestic tranquility and deport any foreign national who is a public charge, security risk, or non-compatible with Western civilization. Donald Trump has ordered a widespread review of asylum cases approved under former President Joe Biden's administration and green cards issued to citizens of 19 countries. Trump also informed on Thursday that a National Guard member had died after being shot in an ambush by an Afghan national near the White House, while the second soldier is still critical. Russian President Vladimir Putin has shown optimism that the draft peace proposal discussed by the US and Ukraine could become the basis of future agreements to end the conflict in Ukraine. Speaking in Bishkek after a summit with the leaders of a grouping of former Soviet republics, President Putin said he considered the Ukrainian leadership to be illegitimate and so it was legally impossible to sign a deal with Kiev. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky also confirmed the delegation from Kiev and Washington are to meet this week to work out a formula, discuss the talks in Geneva. Zelensky met Latvian Foreign Minister Baba Brace in Kiev on Thursday, thanking Latvia for joining a US-backed program that allows Kiev to buy Patriot missiles from the country. Russian President Putin will hold talks with Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán later on Friday to discuss continuation of crude and gas supplies for Hungary as well as peace efforts in Ukraine. US President Trump on Thursday said United States will soon expand efforts to curb Venezuelan drug trafficking by intensifying operations on land. The United States forces have been increasing deployment in the Caribbean for months. Cruise missile destroyer USS Gravely docked on Thursday alongside a Navy support vessel in Puerto Rico. A Ukrainian man suspected of coordinating the sabotage of the Nord Stream gas pipeline in 2022 was expected to appear in front of a German court on Friday after Italy extradited him a day earlier. An EU spokesperson said on Friday that intensive discussions were ongoing, including with Belgium, on the use of Russian frozen assets to fund Ukraine. France on Friday caught one of the two detainees who escaped a prison a day earlier using bed sheets after sawing through the bars of their cell. A Tunisian appeals court on Friday handed jail terms of up to 45 years to opposition leaders, businessmen and lawyers, a court document showed. The United Nations called on Pakistani authorities to ensure that rights of imprisoned former Prime Minister Imran Khan are respected and fully upheld. The death toll in the deadly apartment fire in Hong Kong has risen to 128 on Friday. 12 firemen were also injured during rescue operations, including one reported in serious condition. Hong Kong authorities said on Friday that fire started on lower floor protected netting and then spread via styrofoam boards and bamboo scaffolding. Investigations also show that fire alarms were defective. Thai border police have apologized for publishing an AI-modified image showing flood relief rescuers in combat gear and wielding automatic weapons in one of the hardest-hit cities in southern Thailand. And we're heading for a short break. There's more coming up in Express News.
Treated the Earth's resources as endless. But now the real challenge is to rethink how we use what we already have, because how we manage the environment's resources will dictate our chances of survival.
He applied finely crushed basalt rock on 2 of his 4 fields and says the difference is clear to see.
It's like a window of opportunity. For every hour we are working with this project.
The pumped groundwater is first filtered. Then it goes into a tank and is filtered again. After that, it is collected in this tank where people can access it.
We have been making handicrafts from banana plants for quite some time now. Currently, we produce around 30 products.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News on DD India. Let's begin. Rain lashes parts of Rajasthan's Jaipur as IMD issues a yellow alert for 9 districts due to western disturbance. Severe waterlogging was witnessed in parts of Tamil Nadu's Thoothukudi on Friday due to continuous widespread rains over the past few days. 4 international flights bound for Colombo were diverted to Thiruvananthapuram due to bad weather triggered by intensifying cyclone Ditwa. Sri Lanka has issued urgent flood alerts for Ratnapura and Kalutara as water levels surge dangerously. Residents are advised to follow evacuation instructions due to ongoing flash flood and landslide risks. The Sri Lankan Navy has evacuated 37 stranded residents, including 18 children, after a landslide blocked the only access road. Floodwaters have receded in Thailand, but Hatyai now faces severe utility shortages and a critical backlog of deceased victims awaiting recovery. As waters withdraw, families report 100% loss of homes and belongings, with many reunited only after days of separation. Officials advise victims to seek psychological support and emergency relief services now active across the district. Blizzards across North China have buried key roads, trapping 90-plus vehicles and disrupting rail services across several provinces. Snow clearing teams work to reopen blocked highways and restore normal transit. A major landslide has killed several people and completely paralyzed Indonesia's Solok Padang route, with heavy rains hampering the clearance. 9 districts in Indonesia's Aceh are inundated, displacing 1,497 people, damaging thousands of homes amid relentless rains. Officials urge communities to follow local evacuation orders as extreme weather persists. Fabergé, a rare winter egg commissioned by Tsar Nicholas II in 1930, is expected to fetch £20 million at Christie's Classic Week auction. The jewel-encrusted masterpiece will go under the hammer on December 2nd. Kazakh collector Andrei Klemenko has preserved over 200 Soviet-era tape recorders once used to secretly copy banned Western music. Irish skater Becky Gilmer is completing a 2,800 kilometers journey along the Wild Atlantic Way to raise awareness about suicide. She says the trip, inspired by a friend she lost, has connected her with people sharing their own stories of grief and hope. A Kenyan court has overturned parts of a 2012 law that penalized farmers for saving and sharing indigenous seeds. The ruling restores farmers of traditional rights and rejects what the court called discriminatory corporate-leaning provisions. Sri Lanka's Air Force airlifted a man stranded atop a coconut tree after floods from Kalaviva made ground rescue impossible. A Bell 212 helicopter conducted 3 sorties to evacuate him safely. Vietnam's Da Nang hosted the Super Edge AI Summit 2025, bringing experts from Columbia, Princeton and other global institutions. The conference focused on decentralized AI, trusted data systems and smart city applications. Bonnie the Labrador has been sworn in as South Australia's first court facility dog to support victims, witnesses and children in family law cases. Officials say court dogs help nearly 80% of people feel less anxious during proceedings. Bonnie will start her duties 3 days a week, offering reassurances with specialized skills, including even bowing to the judge. Thousands of Victorian women in Australia are unable to access a free midwifery group practice model, praised as the gold standard for maternity care. London unveiled its annual Gingerbread City exhibition featuring 50 architect designs, candy buildings inspired by the theme of play. The display includes sweet recreations of landmarks like the Big Ben, House of Commons. The exhibition opens November 29th and runs through January 4th. A pioneering EU-funded robotic system is helping archaeologists restore Pompeii's fragmented frescoes with advanced AI and ultra-precise dual robotic arms. The technology identifies, grips and assembles delicate pieces, solving puzzles with missing fragments and no reference image. In Amasya's historic Yelbo riverside houses continue to draw visitors for their striking Ottoman-era architecture along the Yeselmak River. The riverside district has become an iconic cultural symbol of the region, nearby UNESCO-listed sites and preserved historic streets further strengthen the Amasya's appeal as a cultural tourism hub. The 56th edition of the International Film Festival of India concludes on Friday with a grand closing ceremony. The 9-day extravaganza showcased masterpieces of cinematic work, world-class technology and business exchanges. Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant released an honorary postal stamp in memory of late cinematographer K. Vaikunt. The tribute was unveiled during the 56th edition of IFFI in Goa. India's animated film Mahavatar Narsimha has entered the Oscar race for the Best Animated Feature Film at the 98th Academy Awards. Among 35 animated feature films, Mahavatar Narsimha will face competition hits like K-pop Demon Hunter, Zootopia 2, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Infinity Castle and others. American singer and rapper Post Malone will perform his first solo headline concert in India in Guwahati. The concert will take place on December 8th. American actors Marcelo Hernandez and Skylar Gisondo have joined the voice cast of Shrek 5th edition. The actors will play Shrek and Fiona's sons, Fergus and Farkle. Johnny Depp opened his A Bunch of Stuff art exhibition in Tokyo, spotlighting 3 decades of his personal and creative work. He reflected on his artistic journey and memories with former partner Vanessa Paradis and their children. KFA Sutherland premiered his Christmas film Tinseltown, where he plays a fading Hollywood star rebuilding his life through a humble local pantomime. The film, featuring Rebel Wilson, Robbie Williams' daughter, celebrates family, British theatre and heartwarming festive themes. Director Leon Lear's new film Ke Naam In explores a tender bond between 2 lonely characters set against 1980s Ho Chi Minh City. The Disney animated sequel Zootopia 2 is off to a roaring start at the box office, earning $39.5 million on its first day of release. On to sports. In cricket, skipper Pat Cummins was not named in Australia's squad for the second day-night Ashes test against England in Brisbane, which will begin on December 4th. Fellow pace spearhead Josh Hazlewood was also not included as expected as he continues his recovery from hamstring problem. After facing heavy scrutiny following home series whitewash against South Africa, India's head coach Gautam Gambhir arrived in Ranchi for the three-match one-day series starting Sunday. India's World Cup winner Deepti Sharma emerged as the biggest headline with UP Warriors using the right to match card to secure her for the 3.2 crore rupees in Women's Premier League player auction. New Zealand star all-rounder Amelia Kerr returned back to his Mumbai Indians as the two-time champion signed her for rupees 3 crore. The fourth edition of the WPL will be held from January 9th to February 5th, 2026, with Navi Mumbai and Vadodara confirmed as the two host venues. The Board for Control of Cricket in India on Friday announced the under-19 side for the Asia Cup, which will be played in the United Arab Emirates from December 12th to 21st. A ceremony to felicitate India's women's blind cricket team winners of the inaugural Women's T20 World Cup was organized at Modern School Barakhamba Road in New Delhi. In tennis, India's top singles player Sumit Nagal bowed out of the Australian Open Asia Pacific Wildcard Playoff Tournament. The Boxing Federation of India has appointed Santiago Nieva as the head coach of the Indian women's national boxing team on Friday. International Olympic Committee has approved 2 Russian and 1 Belarusian skater to compete at the 2026 Milano Cortina Winter Olympics as neutral athletes. Former England football captain and UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador Sir David Beckham visited Visakhapatnam's Mahatma Jyotiba Phule Residential School as part of UNESCO's Global Education for All initiative. Portugal etched its name into the history books after defeating Austria 1-0 in the final to win its maiden FIFA Under-17 World Cup title in Qatar. Olympique Lyonnais produced a dominant performance in the UEFA Europa League, thrashing Maccabi Tel Aviv 6-0 at the TSC Arena. Denmark's Nadia Nadim was celebrated for her football career as well as humanitarian and academic work at the 22nd ceremony of prestigious Golden Foot Awards. With that, we conclude this edition of Express News. Namaskar.